Shots fired that really amused Ten Hag today. I've never seen him so happy in a press conference. We've got injury updates ahead of Crystal Palace. A lot to come from Ten Hag's press conference and get into detail on that. But obviously the main talking point from it was his reaction to a question asked by Sky and him coming back to that. I will get into that in a second. Olise, Manchester United front runners, is he worth that money? If we have only got that much budget and it is only around the £100 million mark, plus what we managed to sell to cover for missing out on Champions League and covering Adidas deal sponsorships that have been subsidised, let's say, then is that the right signing for Manchester United, especially considering the amount of wingers we already have at the football club? Do we need to look elsewhere if it isn't Ten Hag in situ? Like, we talked about Sancho earlier on, we talked about Palestri earlier on, players like that, Ahmad, that we've already got at the football club. Is there any future them ahead of someone who is very injury prone in Olise? I like him. It's up to you guys. You tell me. Get into the chat. Give the video a like and please do subscribe if you're tuning in for the first time. This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. Thursday evening, a bit early for a press conference today, wasn't it? But first of all, let's have a little listen to what Erik ten Hag was asked and what got that totally crap response in his words exactly. Let's just have a quick listen to what he said.
Erik, there's been lots of talk about an overhaul of the squad in the summer, a revolution. You've said there's a good base to work with, but what did you make of reports suggesting that most of the players the club would entertain offers for and they would be up for sale?
It's a joke, but that is like...
Well, I'll cut it short there because I'm going to tell you exactly what Ten Hag was saying in that. The question came from Sky, and straight away the answer was of Ten Hag and his bewilderment as to how this continuously keeps on popping up in every single pre-season, in every single summer or transfer window. He keeps on saying that this is always there. Every single summer. The 3 summers, the 3 windows that he's had already. Manchester United are continuously linked with 200 players, he said. 200. He's done his research, he said as well, Ten Hag. It's 200. That's what we've been linked with every single summer. You know what? On that side of it for Ten Hag, it does feel like it's bleeding 200. Every time a window comes around, we already into the back end of the season and the summer's being talked about. It automatically is by fans, and the media do leak out quite a lot of names. And he went in on Sky for asking this question because he also jumped on the fact that every single summer we get linked with all these new players, and every single summer and every single transfer window Manchester United are selling their whole squad. And in his words, the response was, it's totally crap. And then he burst into fits of laughter. I don't know what that's about. Was it a premeditated response? Did they know he was coming out with that? Is Ten Hag just rattled? Is he just firing shots because he can? We've talked about why his demeanour is the way it is with the media at the moment, and whether it's him feeling safe, whether it's him feeling like he knows he's already gone and he's just taking down whoever he can and saying whatever he wants. But ultimately, it just looks like the relationship between him and the media is stretched, let's just say that. And responses like that from Ten Hag quite clearly show that he isn't fully there. He isn't fully happy with his situation right now at the football club. There were a lot more questions asked. There was an awful lot more in terms of Wilcox, injuries and stuff like that, probing questions. There is an embargoed version as well with this. And by the way, guys, our footage from the press conference that you've seen earlier on today, and that clip there, that you've just seen on the live show as well, was brought to you by Haters TV, who we are working alongside now. We're just investing into the channel to bring you more content, better content, factual content to work alongside what we already do, guys. And that's a massive thank you to you that we can invest this way into the channel and all of the help that you guys give us, members, super chats, stuff like that. Just viewing the videos and liking them, it all helps us bring better content to the channel, and I just want to say thank you to that and to Haters as well, who we're working alongside now. And it just brings it brings an extra the word is like, it just brings an extra little bit of clarity on what we talk about, like listening to Ten Hag and then reacting to it. And you know what, sometimes you can listen, sometimes you can watch, but when you can constantly watch it back and we can put it on and we can react directly to it, we can get your thoughts on it as well. And we can see how Ten Hag is answering these questions together. And we bring up the points that he makes. But for me, body language and the way he reacts, like the laughing bit today, for me after that, I thought it was hilarious. Like, I've not seen Ten Hag like that for a long time. I actually think like he knew he was going to answer that question that way. I think he knew them words were going to be coming out of his mouth. And he, in the end, really, I just feel like he knows something that we don't. And he would do, obviously. He's the manager and he's not going to give anything away to the media or to tell us, especially in an open press conference. But it is a case of Ten Hag now calling out everyone who is available. Like, the injury list is vast. It is great at Manchester United. We know that. He's fed up with that. He's fed up with the questions about the performances. He's fed up with how he is now constantly being scrutinised, and his team's performances and certain players and his signings and everything like that are being brought up in every single press conference. It's just what happens, you would feel, at the end of a tenure of a manager. Like, we've seen the signs before, and it just looks like it's going that way. Now, whatever is happening behind the scenes, whatever happened between that meeting at the Ivy restaurant in Manchester Centre between Brailsford, Blanc and Sir Jim Radcliffe, I don't know, like, where are they at? We talked earlier on today about Ten Hag and how Ineos will be thinking about what has gone on at the football club. Like, the mess that they are sort of dealing with right now and fixing at the football club is no fault, really, of Ten Hag's. So have they taken that into consideration and all of that? And I think Ten Hag is just sat there in complete limbo. Like, I personally do believe that the results are the telling factor in all of this. Like I've said, to be asked questions about Jadon Sancho, it's just rotten luck for Ten Hag, really. It really is. But again, another one that he just does not want to answer. And I think the way he answered the Jadon Sancho question was fine. Was fine. I think for Eric to just say, look, we're happy for him, he's a great player. But what he also did in that press conference in answering that Jadon Sancho question for me was rid himself of any connection to Jadon Sancho. You can see why Manchester United paid the money for him. You can see why he holds great value to the football club, to United, to why United bought him, to the football club, not to me, not to us. Them words didn't come out of Ten Hag's mouth. It was talking in the Manchester United tongue of like the club and not him. He would have never bought Jadon Sancho, Ten Hag. We know this. I think he's made that very, very clear in how he's answered questions like this. So in this today, it was a case of like a lot of questions coming his way that he didn't want to answer. He touched on, obviously, the injuries and everything like that. And the best part of it was the way he answered Sky Sports in the exodus of players. Because it has been common knowledge. It has been talked about in every media source that we have got an abundance of players that are going to be leaving this summer. Like, we know for certain that the contracts are not on the table for the players that are running out of contract. So there's a definite half a dozen gone that are out of contract. I think he was able to answer the question in not selling all of or half of his squad because he's not actually selling them. We're not actually getting any money for them players. They're just going on a free transfer. So I think that side of it, I think you can look at that and go, yeah, I can see why he's answered it that way. He can confidently answer it that way as well. So it's important for Ten Hag just to keep his counsel in these press conferences from now on, because like I said, he could ruin his reputation in doing like what Ralph Rangnick did. The club have a lot of power, Manchester United, and they can make life difficult for Ten Hag past this. But I think he's handled it well today. I don't think he's been over the top. He's fired shots where he knows he can fire shots. He's hit back at the media because I think he can do. And if it is complete and utter garbage that United are not selling the majority of the squad, then how the hell are you going to make the money? Because the next question was brought up as well about being in the Europa League. And being in the Europa League means less money. And yes, the budget is affected, he said. So you see where I'm going with it. It's kind of sort of avoiding questions about the squad being sold, but then not giving answers really in terms of what he has played a part of, which is a poor season for Manchester United and why we're in the Europa League. Akash with a super chat says, Erik ten Hag has aged in this job. So good to see him smile. Yeah, it was good to see him have a bit of a laugh, to be honest. Like, as much as we criticise and some people have opinions, and like I said, he has got his critics, he really has, but you don't want to see a man completely down and out, do you? Like, no one does. So, yeah, I feel like right now, and I said this before, I said this in the show earlier on today, like Ten Hag having a press conference on a Thursday lunchtime when we're playing the following week on the Monday, I think it just gives him time to work with his squad. He's got nothing in the way of what he wants to do and prepare for now. He's got, another 2 or 3 days full preparation for the game. So he can just go away. No media duties at all now from Friday all the way through to Sunday. He can work with his squad, get fully prepared. He doesn't like media duties. I know this for certain. He just does not like doing it. They get in the way. All he wants to do is get on that training ground. And now I think it was deliberate that we did the press conference today because it just gives him that time now. Full preparation for the weekend. Obviously, he was quizzed on the injuries as well. We got an update on Scott McTominay on Instagram from himself, telling us that he was okay and there was no real issues, which is good news for him. Obviously, Ten Hag reiterated that, but we have got Marcus Rashford, Lisandro Martinez, Johnny Evans, and Anthony Martial back in training. Now, I'm not really bothered about Martial. I made that point clear today earlier on. He can do what he wants for me. Like, he's not been completely available. He's not always been there for Ten Hag, and I think Ten Hag knows himself that he's a player that he cannot really rely on. He cannot. So I think the whole demeanour, and we talked about this before, and like how Ten Hag is responding to everything right now. He just looks like a man in pure hope mode. Like that this team is actually going to perform the way it can do. I don't personally think that he can turn the mindsets around of these players. Like, the players go on the pitch, you're hoping that they're professional and they play to their capabilities, and then maybe we can get that result. We desperately need a result. The reality is that we need Europa League, and he touched on it as well. He said, look, we can get it in the FA Cup and we can get it in the league. He's right. We can get it from both sides, but I think the FA Cup is a long shot. It's a one-off game, yes, but it's against one of the best teams in the world, sadly, in City. And right now we're watching a game later on tonight. So members, we're doing a watch-along on Tifo. It is Chelsea against Spurs. We actually need Spurs to win this game now to stop Chelsea coming up behind us. So realistically, it's gone from Manchester United hoping that Chelsea probably would have taken points off Spurs because we're chasing top four to the complete 180. And we need Spurs to beat Chelsea now, just so they don't come up running up against us, coming up behind us, because it's Newcastle and Chelsea that will take us out of Europe completely, which is the concern. And with our games coming up and the quality opposition that we've got, tough games, then we definitely need Chelsea to lose tonight. We need Spurs to beat Chelsea, I feel, because we need Europa League football. Conference League is just the ultimate embarrassment for Manchester United. Not many people even want to be in it. But yeah, members, do join us on Tifo after the show. We're kickstarting there. I think kickoff is at 7:30 tonight for that game. So we're on around about 7:20. So make sure if you are a member, jump into the members section. You'll see a members video there, guys. And all the information is there as always. If you haven't already done it, all members, please do jump across onto Tifo later on for that game. Into the chat we go. Us as fans are watching the pissing contest between players and coach. We need order or else asylum runs the club. Yes, it does. The inmates are running the asylum as well. Mark Harris, Adam, what's your thoughts on City's lawyers sending out letters to well-known United YouTube channels for claiming City are guilty of slurring the club before? In terms of all that, I honestly couldn't give a toss, mate. I don't even know if it's true. I would... it's a stab in the dark as to what I know with that, but couldn't care. Really don't. I don't think they would sit there. I don't think they need to, in terms of the size of what they're dealing with there and the issues from that. And you know what I'm talking about there. So, yeah, it's it's none of my business, and I don't really care. Like, City will get what's coming to them. Otherwise, the Premier League are right in the mixer. They're right in the shit off. Let's see. I think Wilcox coming to Man United gives Sancho a second chance at United, but he's not a Manchester United player. I mean, we talked about Sancho this morning. Like, there's no consistency in Jadon Sancho. Like, he's had good games here and there. People calling him a baller and a decent player. Yeah, he can be. He is. Then people are right, but consistently, he's not done it for United, and consistently is the issue. Consistency is the issue for United. Like, he has not been able to get himself up for these games. So it's that red shirt again, isn't it? It's that red shirt. What have Manchester United created? Or is it just a case that it's too big for these players and we haven't scouted them properly? That's what you have to look at with a lot of Man United players right now. By the way, guys, we did win the TIFO competition again. The best community out there here on FUTV. Smashing the opposition again. Absolutely destroying it, guys. So thank you so much again for all of your input in there, members. Good to have loads of you in as well. Every single stream that we do. Buzzing with that, guys. The Ferocious says, not right now because we play counter-attack, but Ineos want us playing possession-based football, which will still suit Sancho next season. I don't know. I don't know if he fits in, honestly, guys. I think he's done. Like, the noise is coming out, and like, if Ten Hag is in situ, we know it's definitely a no, but I think the club would sell him anyway. And again, I'd go back. I don't want to touch on it too much with Sancho, but what has happened behind the scenes must be, like, severe for Ten Hag to actually banish this player. Like, something bad must have happened behind the scenes for this. And I just don't think they want any more aggro going into the new season and the fresh start that United are going to have. So, no, I think they're going to leave it at that, to be honest. Nothing will happen to City. 6 years from now, they will be in the Super League, just like United, etc. Money talks. Aliens on the doom and gloom there. Come on, Pete. S. Madison says, conferences are level. Oh, Europa League. Come on, I won't say that. Come on, Europa League. Arab money will keep talking. Yeah, it does. So United was too big for Di Maria. You guys waffle without accountability. Accountability, what does that mean? It's not waffling. He failed. He failed at United, like many other players failed at United. So it was too much for him. Are we just going to blame every manager for every player that couldn't hack it at the football club? Answer me that. Make sure you get the likes in, people. We're just about to go past the 100 like mark. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Keep sharing the video, and please do subscribe if you are tuning in for the first time. Super League is where it is heading. Not if UEFA have anything to do with it, and the money that they're ploughing in now to the Champions League. Question for Adam. How do you know Sancho won't perform under a different manager? I don't. He might perform under a different manager, but do the club want him? Do they want to risk the wrath of the fans, who are a lot on side with how United dealt with Sancho? A lot of this fan base don't want Jadon Sancho back. And a couple of performances here and there are not going to convince a large majority of this fan base that he is worth chancing again. I understand the finance side of it. I understand that he could possibly come back and hit the ground running and be the player we thought we were buying. And then it comes to renewing his contract again, doesn't it? Which is another worry. We have better players in the academy. Give them a chance. Also better younger players in Europe. The academy players are not completely ready yet, I don't think. They need to be eased in as well instead of being thrown into the hot cooker. Too many players. I blame the culture, not the players at this stage. Culture and players create that culture, don't they? By just getting away with what they can from the football club. DYKT, did you know this? Sancho, 20 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Antony, last 15 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. So Sancho is not better than Antony in Germany. That's just someone putting facts out there again. Make what you want of them. I don't want Sancho back. We are bigger than that, says Jonathan. That's how a lot of people are saying it. After this press conference, do you think Ten Hag is done for? Not necessarily, no. I think he's just he's just giving his own back to the media. Like, he made a big song and dance of it, like a big joke at the end of it. And I think he's comfortable in what he said. Like, I don't think it was too bad. I think that's what all the laughter and everything was after it as well. So you've just got to take it for what it is. The club are happy for him to do that. Sky are probably lapping that up, to be honest, and loving it. And we move on to the next Ten Hag press conference, which will be the one after the Crystal Palace game, and we'll see how his demeanour is then, especially if the result isn't right. We have a poll going right now, guys. 60 million on Olise. Would you spend that, knowing what we've got in our coffers for this summer? Would you go in on 60 million? Not sure, personally. Yes, said 38%, and no, 62% as the vote stands at the moment. I'll keep that one going for now, but it's been reported, Romano and a few others, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there as well, that Manchester United full-on front-runners for Michael Olise now. We've known this for a while. Like, the stories have been there for a long time. So I think just wait out and see. It does come down to how many players are leaving United. And if Ten Hag says that we have a decent squad and it's all lies what the media is saying, which is pretty much what he said today in the press conference, then where are we getting the money from to invest in the likes of Olise? If they're saying that, though, maybe Ten Hag should say that the reports about the so-called amount United can spend are false as well. Maybe the club need to come out and say something on that, because that's been reported to be true, but we're not 100% certain. 3 more defeats incoming. Could be 4. Thanks for that, Tontina. Full of confidence. David says, Adam, do you actually know why Sancho went abroad for months? United said he had issues. That's not discretion. Cover up. I was told that it was because he lost a family member and he was over in I think he was over in the Caribbean. He lost someone in his family. That's what I was told anyway. Whether that story is true, I do not know. I've heard other stories which aren't as good. I'm not going to talk about, especially not on this time of day. But no one knows Sancho's side of the story. The problem you've got is, and the one that everyone is talking about, is what Ten Hag did in making it very public about Jadon Sancho. And then Jadon Sancho took exception to that and he reacted. So Ten Hag started it off in the public domain. Sancho finished it. And then Ten Hag banished him for doing so. So what did Jadon Sancho do to Ten Hag to make him come out in public? That's the bit that we do not know. And I don't think we will. Maybe later down the line. You never know. Alan says, Olise injury prone for 60 million. What the F? Martino, Ten Hag put the poison in the air and you guys just start hating the players. I don't know who's hating the players. We're not hating the players. We are talking about the players. We are criticising the players. Hate is a strong word on that one. I think you got that one wrong, buddy. Subvid says, I think United should keep things under wraps so we get better deals. Oh, that would be a fine thing. I think it's impossible for United to keep anything under wraps. But yeah, the injury news and injury situation with United going into these crunch games now against Crystal Palace next on Monday, and then Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton and City. Like, Ten Hag touched on McTominay, obviously. Players coming back just into training, nothing major coming from that. And then we had the news about Bruno Fernandes possibly being a doubt for the game against Crystal Palace at weekend. Now, Bruno Fernandes has never missed a game through injury for Manchester United. It's a phenomenal record, obviously. And it'll be interesting if we are missing Bruno and McTominay, if he does risk Mason Mount, or if he just plays Amrabat, and we are full-on boring mode with absolute zero pace whatsoever in that midfield. Can you imagine a midfield of Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mainu? Like, no disrespect to Mainu, he's not the quickest. Quick feet, yes. Sprint, no. Definitely not got that in him. But that would be beyond slow and incredibly difficult to handle that speedy midfield of Crystal Palace's. We've got the slowest defence in the world. Actually, I'm thinking there, Casemiro's actually in defence. So if we're missing Bruno, That would be a midfield of Ericsson, Amrabat, and Mainu. Ooh, I don't like that one. Not for a game against Crystal Palace. I mean, these guys took City all the way in that game. Like, they were really pushing City in that first half. I think someone like United could crumble in that sort of environment. Again, I mean, that's the worry that we've got. I feel like Manchester United need everyone to get anything out of this next run of games. Like, the excuses have been there with the injuries and everything like that, but let's be honest, looking at it now, Manchester United definitely need some players back for this next group of games. They do. We've got another week break after, obviously, the game against Crystal Palace. So we play Monday, and then we go across, and then we also went across to this Sunday, then into against Arsenal. And then we've got Newcastle the Wednesday before the Brighton game, before a week's break, before the actual FA Cup game. So, yes, that's where we're at, and that's what's happening right now with Manchester United's chances of getting people back in. Are you bothered if Anthony Martial plays another game for Manchester United? That's another question I want to pose to you guys. Is he... Or do you actually not? Do you actually want to see Martial play again? That's what I'm going to change the poll up. I'm going to put another poll in right now, guys. I want you to answer in, just so I can gauge where everyone's at. Get your comments in as well. Do you want to see Martial play again? Let's see where that one goes. Poll is up now, guys. So, Martial, do you want to see him play in the United shirt again, or are you just not bothered at all? Like, I couldn't give a flying hoot, to be honest. I really don't care. I think his time is done. I think it's quite clear that he's going. The club have made it clear with their stance on things. So, yeah, I just look at it and go, sad it. I mean, if he comes in and helps out and does something, I'm not bothered because I know he's going. Yeah, he's just one of them players. Like, he's like top of the list of like meh when it comes to Manchester United players. Like, the club and the fans just don't care. Like, proper Martial FC lovers will be all over this, but it's too late. Too little, too late if he did anything. And I just think right now, I think everyone is just looking past it again. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you look and try and build yourself up or get yourself into game mode right now. No one can be asked or right into it simply because we are looking ahead to the summer. That's all anybody cares about. That's all anyone is thinking towards. And it's just a case of just get all these players out. Let's see what happens next season. If it's a new manager, it's a new manager. I just want to see everything change. I want to see what happens. I want to see how we start next season. Fresh start. Let's forget about the past. That's what it feels like right now. That's all it feels like. And do you know what? I can't blame people. I can't. Like, I just feel like everyone's had enough. Like, this has been the worst season. Like, I've seen players deteriorate like never before. I've seen a manager completely crumble like never before. Like, just going back to, like, you only have to listen to, like, that Ollie interview again with Gary Neville when he said, like, that Watford game, he knew what was coming. Like, he went into the changing room and he said, look who wants to play at half-time. It feels like we're at that stage right now. It's like there's going to be a moment, I think, against Crystal Palace when the chips are really down and we're going to find out who is actually leaving Man United in the summer. It's got a feeling that game is coming. It does. It feels like it's round the corner in this next group of games now. Like, everyone is trying to big it up. Like, look, we're into a final. We can get into the Europa League. Let's get behind the team. Don't worry about it too much. It just feels like this squad at its end. It does. It feels like it needs breaking up. And I know that moment is coming. Mark Lambridge says, I think Tony scores the winner in the FA Cup final. Just walks off the pitch, down the tunnel, never to be seen again. That's like a story, isn't it? It's like a film. Richard S. with a super chat. Hey, Adam, I do believe Sky make up spurious stories. To be honest, like, Sky didn't actually make this one up. He reacted to a question from Sky, which was, what do you think of all of the stories going around about the amount of players that are going to be leaving Manchester United? That just wasn't Sky. That was multiple media outlets that were talking about this. So that, I think, is why he's reacted. But they asked the question, and they got the reaction from him. So that's the important thing in all of this. Richard says, no, Adam, 1973 was the worst season, but 73-74 was some of the best times I have had. I know that, but in terms of player attitude, the way players are these days, Richard, you know what I'm talking about there. It's like, it just feels like they just really don't care. They really don't care. Hi, Adam. How did Kaz do last night? I didn't watch the morning show as my new 65-inch TV was arriving and being wall-mounted. Good for you with a TV, Mike. And Kaz won 3-1 in the final and got player of the match and scored the third goal. Excellent night it was. Martino is now a member, gifted by Jordan Hall. Thank you, Jordan, and welcome to the Members Club, Martino. Trevor says, Adam... where's that gone now? She's disappeared. Adam, Europa League place would be the death knell next season. Thursday, Sunday football is a killer. We can't get away from it, can we, mate? We just cannot get away from Thursday night football. Like, give us a prolonged period away from that crap, please. We laughed at Liverpool last season when they were in it, and now we're back there where we was. Absolute nightmare. Like, honestly, I hate it. It ruins the week. It gets in the way of everything, Thursday night football. It really does. Where's the chat at? Where's the poll at? Do you want to see Martial play again? 42% of you said yes, and 58% of you said no. Well, if Ten Hag's got his way, I think he will. I think he will actually get more game time. But I think it's clutching at straws. I really do. Clutching at straws. Modern Samurai has just dropped himself into the chat with a bang, dropping 10 memberships. Thank you very much. And guys, if you have become a member, do come across to T4 and watch the watch along with us tonight. It is Chelsea against Spurs. We're hoping that Spurs can beat Chelsea and give us a lift into the Europa League, even though it is Thursday night, Sunday, like we just said. The disappointment of that. But Modern Samurai, thank you so much. Akash Paul, Duke of Hazard, Mark Glover. Some of us, 1 second. I've lost it. Iz Roberts, Paul Greaves, Ripcord D, Andy Slate, Justin Beaver, Timelessness. Welcome to the Members Club. And Mike J-Mo. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you jump across into the members video, guys. There is a members video up now if you have just become a member, with all the information about how you can join me for the game tonight. Kickoff is at 7:30, guys, so make sure all members are in there. Thank you, Modern Samurai. Welcome to the chats. I didn't see you last night or this morning, mate. Hope things are well and you're doing good. Good to have you back in the chat, mate. Sadek, Adam, no one player is bigger than the club, including my Manchester United favourites of Rooney and Ronaldo. No, you're dead right, mate. You're dead right. And I wouldn't be bothered if any of these players were sold this summer. I would feel sorry for Garnacho, Mainu and Højlund, especially. But honestly, I've said it all along, I would not lose any sleep if any of these players left in the summer. That's how we feel right now. As a fan base, that's what I feel anyway. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, it's definitely a lost cause for a lot of this squad right now. Boxing Straight Talk. See Martial again, 40%. Who are the 40%? Show yourself. That's a Boxing Straight Talk, not liking what he sees. Hope you haven't robbed the bank, says Andrew Shorts. That's talking to Samurai, not me. Definitely not me. What else have we got in there? Seen one from Simon says, every time Martial plays, he does Jack. I could do better, and I'm registered blind. Woof, Simon. All members have to join TIFO. Yes, they do, Jordan. Good shout, mate. We have 11 new ones just tonight. And Modern Samurai makes TIFO so much better. Guys, please do join us in TIFO for the watch along. It is fun. It is great. We bring people onto the show as well. If you are new to it and you are a member, you get your opportunity to join me actually on the show. Come on and have your say about anything. It is no holds bad, and we just go for it on Tifo. It's brilliant, and it is a completely new platform that we are pushing out alongside our YouTube channel now. Martial in Ten Hag out. General Foodie, definitely, it's madness. Martial out. Let's see what else we've got in here. Hey Adam, serious question. Dan James or Anthony? I think that actually Anthony scores more goals, I think, than Dan James did. But yeah, honestly, right now, I think you get more out of Dan James. I'd have Dan James over Anthony. I would. It's crazy. 150 likes, guys. Cheers for a video that is like this. We haven't got a bigger audience tonight because I know there's a lot already gone on and everyone's preparing for early kickoffs and whatnot. Thursday night is always like this, but fantastic effort, guys, to get the 150 mark. Love that. Thanks for tuning in earlier on today as well, guys. And obviously tonight. It is a long weekend for us. At least it's a bank holiday, everyone. That is one good thing. Bank holiday for Manchester United. We get the full one. They cannot ruin it until the last night. That's the best bit about the bank holiday. The weather's probably going to go and take a nosedive like it always does. But at least United cannot ruin it until the very last night, which is Monday. Me, Lou, and Marcus love a Sky Sports range into Tifo. Yes, you do. Mark is always on there. Love Hate Well says, realistically, if Ten Hag is sacked and we're not getting Nagelsmann, who do we get probably that's decent? I need to know for my career mode. It's Thomas Tuchel. I'm just going to tell you now. I would take Tuchel right now at Manchester United. He's the only one out there that I think is better than Ten Hag. That's how I see it. But yeah, it can all change. It always does. If Ten Hag wins the next 5 games, including the final, then things might change with Ineos. Can you honestly see that happening? No, that's what we're looking at. I think the players need to go with Ten Hag if Ten Hag does go. We've said this all along. We're just going over old ground again here with this, but it does come down to what happens on the pitch, and we know what these players are made of. Sadly, it's shit. So, yeah, there's no hope for him then, is there? Unfortunately. It's bank holiday for everyone except Alien. He's on Mars looking for water, says Trevor. Looking for Stella. That's what he's looking for. But guys, yeah, that is it. All done. That is everything updated. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching the new footage of the press conference that we're now bringing you constantly all of the time, guys. We have access alongside Haters TV, who we're working with. Our investment into the extra coverage is all come and brought about by you guys. Just watching videos, liking, subscribing, the members, the contributions, it all goes back in, and that is our latest investment back into the channel, guys, just to give you your extra bit of content so you can rely on FUTV for all of your press conference coverage now, guys, as well. We have access to it all post and pre and extras as well, but we will tell you about that as and when it comes. Please do give the video a like on the way out, guys. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well. Make sure you share the video, and I will see you over in Tifo, members. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. And, yeah, onwards and upwards, as they say. Can Chelsea, can Spurs, I keep getting it wrong, do us a favour and keep Chelsea away from us? It's going to be an interesting one, and I'll see you in the Tifo room. Thanks for watching, everyone.